Ndị be anyị ekene m unu. Asị m nke onye chiri ya zere. Ihe a bụ Ada Igbo ka ị na-anụ olu ya na Igbo Media n'ụbọchị nke taa. N'Igbo Media anyị na-ewetara unu ọtụtụ ozi gbasara Biafra land maka ihe na-eme n'ala Igbo na mba ndị ọzọ. Ozi nke ụbọchị nke taa si n'aka Deputy Prime Minister Ngozi Orabueze. Otu o si ewetara anyị ọtụtụ ozi gbasara Prime Minister Simon Ekpa na ọtụtụ ihe ndị ọzọ ha na-emegasị na Finland iji wee mee ka this our Biafran struggle ka ọ bụrụ ihe nwere isi. Biko ọ bụrụ na ụbọchị tata bụ izi na-esonyere anyị n'iru akwụkwọ, biko echefuna itinyela anyị aka n'iru akwụkwọ, gwakwa anyị ihe iche na comment section and gbasakwa ozi a ka o zuo ụmụnne anyị nọ ebe dị iche iche arụ. Ngwa gere ya ka ọ ha n'uju.
Such a high position in Biafra land that you make out time and talk to your people. You don't have to show anybody your face. But occupying a position like the Commander General of the United States of Biafra, it is critical, it is very important that you talk to Biafrans. During that question and answer session, we invited him, the cabinet invited him. He refused to do that. He didn't talk to Biafrans. On a second time, I scheduled a Zoom meeting to meet with him and these few other individuals that work with him. He refused. He didn't come to that meeting. The defense and I, we scheduled another third meeting. And my thing is not about meeting or no meeting, because I already know where everyone stays. The decentralization of the United States of Biafra military cannot stop. Nobody can do that, because that is what the structure of our government requires. And I am very, very happy and excited where our government is and where our able-bodied men and women, where they are in building the protection of their states. So even in the states where they are, we still have the commands in those areas. My only thing is that we all must work together to move quickly in what we need to do. The equipment, the resources, the venues in those areas we are built by Biafrans. It is our fundraisers that raise all that at every step of the way. So it all belongs to Biafrans. Anyone working for Biafra must be accountable to Biafrans. So again, I don't know what his mindset was, but it's okay. So between that February and April, we were giving everything that his department needs, and our finance will be able to put the figures straight here in this meeting of how much we've expended just between 8 weeks of working with Butuzo. He still works with us. I love him. He's a very, very great guy. I like him. So anybody thinking it's anything different, no. But we all must work together to be where we are. And it is okay if somebody does not work together. There are people that were following NNAMDI. When the DOS sold him, some people said, you know what, I'm going to wait until Onyendu comes out. It's absolutely okay to wait. Because only you know what you and Onyendu discussed. Only you know what you and him talked about. There are people that worked with Uwasulike. When Uwasulike was told to back down, some people following him say, you know what, I'm just tired. I'm just going to wait. There are people that were with our prime minister. And when Finland took him, they were very, very depressed and disappointed. Some say, you know what, let me just wait until Onyendu comes out, PM comes out. It is absolutely okay. But what is not okay is you are waiting for PM to come and then you are destroying what the prime minister have left behind or what Onyendu have left behind. That is not okay. We will not allow that to happen. So between that February, April, we try to help as much as we can. But within that timeline, we also discovered that Butuzo has refused to meet with the defense team. He has refused to have a formal meeting. He will say, okay, he just wants us to walk behind the scene. Yeah, it is okay. I don't have a problem like that. But we are running a government. And I want to have a second or third or fourth ear to everything I'm doing. Because some of them are very difficult. Before you know it, you say one thing, they say you told them another one. So when I request for meetings, there's a reason why I request for meetings. And I'm having that meeting with thousands of different committees and commands in Biafra land. So there's none that will be different. So refusing that meeting, we monitored him between February and April. And after that, he every now comes up with this opinion that yes, I'm with USP, but you know what? I'm going to do it my own way. you know. But mine is to try to explain where the government is coming from. It's okay for you to say you're going to do it your own way, but we are running a government right now where we all need to work together for success. We don't want a situation where something will happen in our state, the defense will not know about it. Something will happen in Enugu state, the defense will not know about it. Something will happen in Kumisia state, the defense will not know about that. No leadership will be successful in that manner. So the criminals that are paid by the Nigerian state through behind try to use this idea to infiltrate and confuse, because that's what I call it. Because that kind of mindset will not run in this government. So you have a situation whereby I am with you, but allow me to do this on my own way, which is okay. I don't have a problem doing it your own way. But the government must know what you are doing. It is absolutely necessary. It's just like you going to a company to work. You are hired to, all of us are hired to work for BIAFRA. And then there is no audit. Your boss does not know what you're doing. It's just like when, immediately after declaration, when we told when we talked about finance, it's not by accountability per se. It's just the government needs to know what is going on. What are you doing? How much do we have? Who are we owing? That's a formal report. We don't want somebody to come out tomorrow and say, Dr. Gazi, BIAFRA is owing me $1 billion or 100 million naira or something. I have to account for that, especially the absence of our Prime Minister. It falls within my table as the Chief of Staff. No other person. As I told Biafrans, the Prime Minister does not need to tell anyone that I will be the surrogate. He doesn't need to do that. But because he knew the wolves he left behind, that they don't respect anyone, that was why he has to do it. He doesn't need to do that. All of a sudden, a faceless individual that never said anything when the Prime Minister was around is coming out to tell you people, you're going to do autopilot, you're going to do regional government. Somebody that was never, nothing. Everybody all of a sudden, even though the Prime Minister suspended, it also have to tell me the name. He called Gaddafi, he called Madam Asoka. Again, I don't have any problem with anybody calling someone. But again, what are you doing with these individuals? If the Prime Minister suspended them, there must have been a reason for that. Why don't you wait for the Prime Minister to come out before you start romancing these individuals? And you think that they will give you the Biafra that the Prime Minister has left? No. They will never, they have nothing to offer except chaos. And you involve yourself with them, you will be part of that chaos, not this government. This government is as sealed as anything. We are very focused, we are straight, and we are carrying out the assignment laid out by the Prime Minister without any intervention. We discovered in the cabinet that within that time frame, he wants to do his own thing. In collusion with those criminal advisors from behind that are talking to him. He listens to them. Yes, he does. Because from what he told me, I know he does. During our Memorial Day march, May 30th, nothing was shown from him and his team. At least let us celebrate our fallen heroes every May 30th. He didn't participate in that. Only he knows the reason. But he cannot be doing things like that and be telling Biafrans, oh, the cabinet is not giving him and still resources. No, you cannot have two masters at one time. It's not going to work. So when all the able-bodied men and women of the United States of Biafra military conducted the Memorial Day march, those that are working behind the scene with him, all they came out to do is to criticize innocent Biafrans who remember that our heroes are heroes day. They were there to analyze them. They were there to criticize those that are wearing slippers, those that are wearing shoes, those that are covering their face. That is all these criminals do behind the scene. But asking as the commander-in-chief of the United States of Biafra government, which camp, where was one march from his camp on Memorial Day, he, Futuso, did not participate in that. Neither him or those he said that are working with him, or 3 or 4 team like that. And these are all genuine Biafrans. What was his reason for doing that? I don't know. I don't know. Only he knows who he's talking with. But you think Biafrans are not watching? Biafrans are watching. Biafrans are fully watching. And I've tried to carry everyone along. I have the patience. Trust me. My patience can stretch from here to the next 100 kilometers. That is what I'm trained for. But I cannot continue to stretch my patience and allow somebody to destroy this beautiful thing that we are building. That is why Biafrans must know what is going on behind the scene. So there was no Memorial Day participation, but rather those that were advising him, they came out and they started criticizing our able-bodied men and women that marched to remember our heroes and our heroines. If any of them falls today, God forbid, is it not the right thing that during that Memorial Day, our military will remember him, remember those that have fallen? That is the right thing to do. But those walking, gossiping, feeding him with misinformation, and their criminal elements that pretended to be forming a parallel government, they are focused on criticizing, because I believe they were shocked. The United States of Biafra were able to raise thousands of military just within that short period. And let me tell you, those Biafran military that marched within that Memorial Day was just about 3/10 of our military. We didn't authorize all of them to march. We did not. We just picked few states, and that was what everybody saw. Those few states. Imagine if we had allowed all the 40 states to march on Memorial Day. It would have been very, very heavy. Trust me, they wanted to do that. But because of time and other factors, and as a new nation, we just approved about 2/10 of the team of the Biafran military. So were the criminals happy? No, they were not happy. They were busy criticizing. They were thinking it's Dr. Rabweza thing. They called them terrorists. These are the people that call themselves Biafrans. They call innocent Biafran military men and women. They call them the terrorist army of Dr. Rabweza. Who is paying them to use such words? What is their plan? And they think the people that pay them, when they use such words, they can deter me or deter the military or make any impact. Biafrans are taking record. So he never participated. But he may be coming out and complaining to some people, oh, he doesn't get resources. But when the government needs something, he doesn't participate. And I don't undermine the power of anyone. But we are running a government where we expect everyone must work on the same table. Within that period of our May 30th, the United States of Biafra government gave only 1 day sit at home, which was May 30th, across the board. Him and maybe those he's talking with, they went to post 2 days sit at home on Twitter space to confuse Biafrans, not to confuse those that are truly, but to confuse some Biafrans that they want, and so that their paid agent will see that what they are paying them to do, they are doing it. Colluding with the criminal called Sonia Palawa and Co. And all of them that are in that ex-Briggy fallback group, all of them, they are the same. All. And they went to post 2 days sit at home when the government already declared just 1 day sit at home on May 30th. What was their plot? What are they planning? They are going with Elias. They are going with Elias' plan, right? To make it look as if there is another government existing somewhere. Then they come up with a regional thing. And when we cut them, they say, oh, regional is just for military formation and all that. When Obatobia has built 40 states, confederated, independent states of Biafra. What is the 40 state? What is the regional about? To confuse those that are paying you, to show them that you are doing something. I will be the end of all of you. I promise you that. This cabinet will be your end. Unless it's not this Biafra that we have declared. Unless it's not this one. So when the cabinet discovered that he cannot work with the cabinet, then the cabinet said, well, we cannot continue to fund somebody who has refused to meet with me, who has refused to meet with the defense. Because maybe the person has his own reasons. So the person has his own reasons, and there are people that he's meeting. It is okay to go to those people. It's absolutely okay. But you cannot walk in Central Bank and go to Access Bank to demand for salary. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. Obedience is better than sacrifice. No leader we tolerate that. No country we tolerate where individuals think they are over, they are stronger, they are bigger than the state. If it has happened in the past, if that is the perception they've given some of you in the past, now that must stop because we are running a government. Government is here to protect everyone. The government is here to build everyone. The government is here to establish every command based on our little resources we are getting. But if you are part of those that the Nigerian state and Tinubu is using to come out and fight the funding and the donation of the United States of Biafra, I'm telling you, you are going to be, the way we fall, you are a complete failure. I promise you that. Because before you start fighting, go and ask those that have already fought Dr. Okwesi. Biafrans here, everyone here remember how they started fighting. When they failed in Finland, they started fighting our account. They started saying, oh, they're using the account. The bank account is owned by terrorists, it's owned by Fulanese, it's owned by Islamic, it's an Islamic bank, Taj Bank, it's Islamic bank. The same ex-brigade fallen people that were parading all these lies. The next thing, they started publishing the names of innocent Biafrans that were donating money to rebuild our nation. This Sonny Akparawa and Okekere, all of them in that ex-brigade, they were part of that plot. The next thing, they found a WhatsApp where they were plotting against me, reporting me to FBI. Things that we are doing with the John Oha, with the Oha, somebody like that. They were all working with Sonny Akparawa and Okekere. We are the Nigerian state. Then the next thing, they started labeling innocent Biafrans as terrorist financiers. Tinubu and Christopher Bamusa published names of innocent Biafrans on the newspapers in Nigeria as terrorist financiers. Just as they've labeled our Prime Minister as a terrorist financier. Just like they labeled innocent Biafrans living in Finland as terrorist financiers. And after that, 4 innocent Biafrans, they've done all their investigation. They went on their fishing expedition. And after that, they couldn't find nothing. They had to drop the case because there was no evidence except the lies. The Nigerian state, Tinubu, Biancono went to lie to them. And some ex-brigade cabinet members, because they are part of that. There is no way Nigeria can come near any Biafran without another Biafran being there. That's what those ex-brigade fallback people, that's what they do. All of them, none of them is exempted. And they will continue to do this until they fall into the pit where they will never come out again. That's a promise.
Ndị be anyị ngwadalụ nnekwu si wene sola na n'ilu akwụkwọ na Igbo Media beba si wene wetara onye bụ ozi gịnị ka were gbasara maka ihe ndị anyị na-ewetara n'ụbọchị nke taa kabara ketụsa ya bụ ozi kọrọtụ ụmụnne anyị ndọzọ n'ebe dị iche iche ntị maka ọ sị ọ nụrụ si ma gịnị ya kara nwanne ya ngwana ka emesịa na ụmụnne m